Hi, this is Laura Turner, and today I'm going to talk with you about college research papers. A research paper is kind of a daunting thing, especially if you're doing your first one. So I have a few tips for you on how to organize it and how to start writing it. First of all, decide on your topic and make sure it's not too broad or too narrow for the length that you are required to write in this particular paper. A 5-page paper will have about 3 big points in it, in my estimation. A 10-page paper is going to have pretty much double that amount. Okay. An 8-page paper is going to be a little bit more like a 10-page paper. You can probably squeeze in as much in a 10-page as you can in an 8-page. So think about it that way. And for a really big paper, like a 60-page research paper, you're going to need to break it down into sections that you're actually going to have like several different papers all melted into one. So think about the length and the topic. Next, you're going to want to start gathering your research. Do this as early as possible, because if it's a research paper, you're going to need to have that stuff to back up your opinions. If it's just an opinion paper that doesn't need any research, then you're not going to need to do anything like this. But if it's a research paper, start doing your research immediately. If you're researching online, I always suggest double checking yourself by researching that same thing in the library on an actual book, so you don't get bunk information from websites. So really try to check up on yourself on that. Separate your research into categories. For example, you're researching the current election. You need information on, Obama and Biden and Palin and McCain, right? Those are your categories, and you're going to want to get as much information on their family life, their platforms, their background history, and things like this, so you can really compile a very thorough investigation into all of the points you need to make. And finally, make sure you draw a concrete conclusion. If we're still working off of the question of the paper and the topic of the paper is the current election, you're going to narrow that down and say who is going to win the current election. And through this research paper, you're going to figure it out, right? So make sure that all the information that you've gathered and put into your paper is going to come to a concrete conclusion, and that information actually supports your conclusion, okay? And then finally, make a works cited page, because since this is a research paper, you've got a lot of stuff you're pulling from that's not your own. Make sure that you cite them correctly according to whatever format you need to cite them, and put them into a works cited page. And those are some tips for college research papers.